Let me ask you a question. For Nigerians, in fact, the whole world should listen to this question. Is London a place to die for Nigerian leaders? Is it where Nigerians go to die, London? And is Nigeria itself, with the rule, a cemetery for the living? Is Nigeria a place where powerless masses are buried alive and leaders go to die in London? Reports yesterday said that former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has died in a London hospital. And just days before, news emerged that another former head of state, coupist like Buhari, Abdul Salami Abubakar, is also critically ill again in a London hospital. Is London now Nigeria's unofficial presidential mortuary? I say this recent development is sad and pathetic. Sad and pathetic. If you agree with my statement, hit the subscribe button for at the Offiong Aqua show on YouTube. Is Nigeria only good for campaign posters, for forming coalition, not for hospital beds? Is that the only thing Nigeria itself is good for? Issue 1, the great escape. Let's be honest. From Umar Yar'Adua, to Muhammadu Buhari, even down to ordinary ministers who serve in Nigeria, when illness strikes, when they get sick, they don't check into Luth in Lagos, or UCH in Ibadan, or even the interestingly named Millennium Hospital in Uyo. They don't go there. They book a flight. They get into private jets. They head to London, or Germany, or Dubai. They rule Nigerians, but don't want to live like Nigerians. They tax Nigerians, but they don't trust Nigerians. They govern a nation they didn't believe in. So you have to ask yourself, if Buhari built hospitals with half the zeal he showed for arresting IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, or banning Twitter, or dropping bombs on people in Olu, will he still have died in exile? Why is London the place where Nigerian leaders feel safe to die, but Nigeria isn't safe enough for other Nigerians to live? Issue 2, a country for the dead. Nigeria has become a cemetery for the living. A cemetery for 230 million people. Poor people in Nigeria die every day in hospitals, even middle-class people with no electricity. Nurses are overworked and undertrained. Oxygen tanks in hospitals are empty. Doctors are running away. They are Japan to Canada, to US, to UK, and Saudi Arabia. Nigeria's best minds are saving lives abroad, while Nigerian leaders go abroad to meet them over there. So Nigeria spends all money training these leaders and these doctors, and they run away to London. But here's the final insult. Many of the doctors treating Buhari and Abdul Salami Abubakar in London are Nigerians. We have it from our sources, and I know it. Yes, Nigerian trained doctors, brilliant minds who studied in Unilag, in Ahmadu Bello in Zaria, in OAU in Ile-Ife, and you are in Ibadan. But they were forced to Japan because the system Buhari and Tinubu built have failed them. That system has failed them. So London hospitals are full of Nigerian doctors, runaway heroes who couldn't survive in the horrible Nigerian health sector, but are now saving lives of the same corrupt leaders who embezzled the money that would have been used in hospitals, who ruined Nigeria, who ruined the Nigerian system. Imagine the irony, ladies and gentlemen. They fled those doctors because Nigerian leaders refused to invest in them. What's the point of going to medical school? You can't even get oxygen. But those same leaders are now flying abroad to go meet those Nigerian doctors. Not in gratitude, but in desperation. What a country! There is no such country in the world. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, children die from malaria and typhoid. Pregnant women die from childbirth. Untreated complications at childbirth. Road accident victims bleed out on the highway. I have a couple of classmates who have died on those Nigerian highways. And while the people who could fix it, all these leaders with trillions of Nigerian budget, wearing big agbada in Abuja, they escaped this. That's the real tragedy. They never built hospitals because they knew they would never use them. They would rather buy SUVs, 200 million naira SUVs, and rather round like kings in Abuja. Issue 3. What if? That's the question. Let's play that game. What if? It's a game. What if Buhari, during his 8 years in office, built just one world-class teaching hospital? One. It doesn't take that much. Ghana built Kolebu, which is now considered the #1 medical center in Africa. Ghana. What if Obasanjo, Jonathan, or Yaradua, or even Bola Tinubu had said, no more going medically for exile? One of those hospitals. Ghana has it. The budget of Ghana is not up to the budget of Lagos State. One real hospital per geopolitical zone. Think about this. One legacy of life. Millions of Nigerians wouldn't die if that happened for lack of basic care. And maybe, just maybe, this is a dream, Buhari would have died in dignity in the land he once ruled. Now look at social media. People are going after him. I mean, what is going on here? These leaders have turned Nigeria into a graveyard for the masses and turned London into a VIP ICU. London is now intensive care unit for Nigerian leaders. I'll go out with this. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. When will people wake up? Nigerians cannot keep burying their leaders abroad while their own people die without aspirin. It bothers me. My ancestors came from there, so it bothers the hell out of me. Leadership is not about flying to die in peace. It is about building a country worth living and dying in. It is possible. I lived in a little bit of that Nigeria, going to university there. Until Nigeria gets rid of the compromised INEC, of the corrupt election tribunals, of the compromised and bought Supreme Court judges, and are able to elect leaders who live like them, suffer like them, treat their lives like they matter, this cycle of shame will never end. This cycle will continue. I assure you, they're about to have election. This cycle will continue. And Nigeria will remain the land where leaders never trust what they built. And the poor are left to die silently in the land of their bed. People talk about coalition now. They are still going to the same London for treatment. So drop your thoughts in the comment sections and don't hold back. And make sure you subscribe to the Offiong Aqua show, where you will hear the truth like this morning, with no fear, no filter, and no fluff. I am Offiong Aqua. Be good to yourselves and to each other. Love your families. Make we go.
My people, what do I know? I don't want to make any comment on this, but I would like to read your comments. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that's affecting you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.